We're gonna go to Frost Bomb. So, like I said, Frost Bomb, when I first started using it, I hated it. And there's a reason why. It's going to be the next item that you see that I'm going to use. You're going to see why Frost Bomb was a problem for me when I first started. So, Frost Bomb, let's look at what Frost Bomb does. Frost Bomb, decent amount of health. Charge time, it's not that long. It's 8.2, which is pretty neat. I think that was brought down because I don't think it was that low originally. I think it used to be higher. It used to be somewhere around 10 or 11 seconds. That I'm sure of. It was never this low. Um, and then it does a decent amount of damage. And its slow strength was buffed. When I first started using Thrust Bomb, I think the slow strength was like 30, which was useless. Like it's like it wasn't even a slow. You're just like, what's the point of it? Because again, you'll see what I mean by grounding bolt. Grounding bolt literally is like superior Frost Bomb. Just what it is. And it works on one player, but grounding bolt is like, oh, it's like the greatest thing. You'll notice it's a level 20 on my stats too. So the slow strength was increased to around 50. Slow duration is a decent around the same thing with grounding bolt. It grows more than grounding bolts because it's a group thing. It's slow, it's less because it's hitting more people. And what's nice about it is the radius is constantly increasing as you increase your level on it. The I should actually show you one more thing. On Temporal Rush, its banner's Assassin. Stasis, its banner's Primalist, which yeah, I'll never be able to use in a Primalist build personally. um, and you have the Frost Bomb. Its basic banner is Ranger, and I bought it so I could get a full Ranger banner. That's the whole reason I even had Frost Bomb. But I was a ground bolt user for so long. I got so into using ground bolt to the detriment where it was really hard to use everything else. So the key thing was once I got Frost Bomb, I had to start figuring out how to use it in conjunction or how to use it in conjunction with other stuff and how to use it differently than grounding bolt. You can do some similar things, but you can't do all the similar things that grounding bolt can do. So the key thing is based on its new cooldown, its cast range was increased. It used to be 10 something and it went up to 12. Temporal Rush, easy. But Temporal Rush is one of the best abilities in the game. If you play Flag Hunter and if you play Capture the Flag, um, yeah, it's the ability. Because while you're holding flags, you can use it. Its cooldown is 8 under 9 seconds. So all you have to do is survive and use it again and use it again. Like I can literally run away from Sunders with this thing. If I time everything correctly, like a Sunder or even a Torden's about to drop that hammer on you, if you time it just right, you can Temporal Rush away. And then I have Overdrive on my Temporal Rush that gives me a speed boost so I get to run. So I can then roll and then run for a second or two so I can increase space. Temporal Rush is like a disgusting power. Like that's why it's rated easy. It's no matter who you are and when you get it, Temporal Rush makes an impact on your game because of its ease of use. I think to get it from an easy to a medium, you can't use it while you're carrying flags. But again, the argument lies in it can't go through items like Blink and Leap Attack. So that's why you can. It's it gives you an advantage. That's why when I had a chance to buy Temporal Rush and Blink, I bought Temporal Rush. Because I knew I play Capture the Flag a lot now versus all the other modes that I'm playing. Temporal Rush gives you this advantage that just doesn't make sense not to use. So Temporal Rush is that. So that's the key with it. It's a really good ability, and like I tell you, the reason I give its rating of easy is because no matter who you are, it's impactful. It lets you run away good. It lets you close the gaps good to kill people. So it's one of those super fun ones that whoever gets it, they'll kick butt with it. Let me see. My setup is Warborn, Renegade, Northern Warmth. Yeah, once you have a Warborn amulet in stuff like that, that's why I play dual chains with the Warborn amulet. It has to do with protection and it has to do with constitution pushing. So what you got to do is if you look at items, right? Like notice that on this rush. So I'll show you that I'm using the rocket launcher to rush. I have an epic mod on it. It has tactical, gain movement speed for reloading. Then it has 7.5% damage upon reloading. So determination. And then look, constitution up by 4.5. The way you keep getting your bar to increase is it's based on the weapon you're using and based on these max health constitution ones. So look at the stats of it. The max health you get with a rush is 15. I'll show you my favorite weapon, the one that I use all the time. The Lost Dreamer. The paint gun. Look at the max health on that thing. 32.5. That's the difference. So if I take that and I take items that are pushing up my health, it will literally keep my health bar growing. That's why when I'm running my level 20 build, you're going to see that I have a much bigger health bar and I do way more damage. A lot of my items are about health. Even my gun has more health than most. Why do I like the Lost Dreamer over or Northern Warmth per se? The range, the damage, and the health. Look at the Northern Warmth. So I'll show you Northern Warmth. Look at the max health. Look at its range. At the end, its damage won't be as high as mine, even though it has more ammo. It's just that it shoots way faster than my gun. So that's why people like it a little bit more. And you would think that 0.2 ain't that much of a difference. Oh, it's a big difference. It's a super fast gun compared to my gun. So, but Northern Warmth is not bad because it's only 0.4 shorter distance than Lost Dreamer. So if you can close in that 0.4 and if we go Northern Warmth versus Lost Dreamer 1-on-1, Northern Warmth might win because more bullets will get out faster and hit me and cause me more damage. It all depends also how good the hitbox is. So that's how that basically works. So like I was saying, Frostbomb, after all of the changes and everything it's at now, I would give it a medium because you do have to learn how to use it, but it's a pretty decent ability. It doesn't, with the changes they've done and the way it works right now, it's not something I think that you need to give anything to. You don't need to nerf it. You don't need to buff it. Right now, I think they got it like right where it needs to be. So that's actually a really cool one. I'll say Grounding Bolt. So what's the difference between Grounding Bolt and the Frostbomb? It's in its stats. So the max health of Grounding Bolt was reduced a little bit. The charge time on Grounding Bolt was finally increased. Originally, Grounding Bolt's charge time used to be 8 seconds. Grounding Bolt's cast range used to be 16.4. 16.4. I was hitting people off screen with the Grounding Bolt. The slow, when I first had it at level 6 or 7, the slow was almost 4 seconds. I'm just saying, it was insane. It was super powerful. Way OP. And the slow strength used to be 65. So imagine having a weapon with a slow strength of 65 with a cast range of 16.4, a charge time of 8, and then having to go to this. We had a charge time of like 10 to 12 seconds and a shorter range. It was horrible. Its slow strength used to only be 30. So with everything that they've done with the Grounding Bolt, and the damage used to be crazy. When I was at level 6, my damage was at almost like 400 or 500. The damage used to be nuts on this thing too. So like right now, Grounding Bolt actually has actually become a medium versus the way it used to be. That thing used to hit you and you used to die. Like there was no escape. The slow used to last so long. The strength was so strong. The range was so oppressive that I was hitting people off screen. There were people who were running with flags who were like halfway across the screen, but they were in the sight of my screen. If I aimed the bolt at them, they were slowed automatically. They weren't getting away. And here's what makes it even worse: the hitbox on the grounding bolt is still huge. You literally could, if you're looking at the graphics, you could be off by almost zero point 0.5 of a meter in the graphics, and you'll still hit with the grounding bolt. So all of these changes brought the grounding bolt down to a medium where it's not OP, but it's still a very strong, solid item. And I would say, yeah, you wanna, if you can get it, you wanna have it. Even with all of these changes, even with it had 4 things got nerfed on it in this build, and I still think it's great. Oh, and also the speed at which it traveled used to be faster. It's been nerfed 2 times in a row. Every time I use it, I'm just still like, I don't see what the difference. Like, I can't see the difference in the speed. It's such a good, solid weapon or a good, solid ability that, man, whatever. Like, they could take all the damage off grounding bolt, still would be solid. Because you'd slow the people down, and if you have anything that gives you, like when I use my grounding bolt, I gain a speed boost. So not only are you slow, I'm also faster, and I'm gonna come and just kill you. So that's why grounding bolt medium. I think grounding bolt is perfect the way it is right now. Like, I think if they could get every item onto a medium level, it's cool. Because the funny thing is, people will use grounding bolt on me, and I usually survive it 9 times out of 10. So it's not like impossible to play against. Even when it used to be super oppressive, I still survived against it more than people killed me with it. People thought like, oh, now I have it and I'll win every match. No, you won't. There are people too I watch who flick it out like they're throwing out candy. Reason I'm always throwing it out is I'm getting speed boost. I use it as a way to get my speed to go real fast. And the reason I like it is the charge time was so low. Every 4 seconds I could give myself a speed boost. Really? Why wouldn't I use it? So it's up to 5.1 seconds, which I still think is better. I was saying maybe you should have it at 14 seconds to get both of them. But the reality is, since you have 2 charges, the charge time is really half. It's always half. And logically is, if you're using the grounding bolt, unless you need to do a kill and you need to slow somebody down twice real strong, you always try to use it once and hold 1. Always. So you're always at 1 or 2 most of the game. This thing's a no-brainer. It's still fantastic, even after it was nerfed. 3 items, parts of it was nerfed. I still think it's one of the best weapons. It's a medium.